So it's been a few weeks since my last entry. Um, yeah, it's kind of been a weird few weeks because obviously after my big sort of breakthrough, um, I kind of was happy for like a few weeks and then I dipped again and all the old kind of thoughts and shit came back. But, you know, since since then, I would like last not weekend before I went out, and it was a really kind of weird evening because I went out and basically met one of the guys my ex-boyfriend cheated on, and actually ended up speaking to him, and I'd been expecting this big kind of anger and rage and kind of just pissed offness, but you know what, when I actually met him, it was like, I don't give a shit. I didn't feel anything. It was kind of like, that's done. It's my past. Um, yeah. What's the point in wasting energy on it? I've got so much more important things to kind of focus on than that. And then I saw my ex that night as well, and I just looked at him, and it was nothing. I just, in my mind, all I thought was, you lied about this guy for so long, and you let us have such blazing arguments over it because you'd rather make me feel like shit than actually admitting to what you'd done. And it's kind of like, so you bitched about these fucking arguments we had, yet they were all caused by something where you knew I was right, but just refused to fucking admit to it. And it's, in my head, I just thought, you know what? What is the fucking point of that? Wasting this time on that relationship when it was just built on fucking lies. And I was saying to my therapist, I said, it now just feels like it didn't happen. That relationship was non-existent. Because, it was fiction. My feelings might have been true, but this person that I felt them for doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. It was an act. So what's the point in kind of pining over something I created? So yeah, that kind of happened, and then I saw one of my old best friends who was meant to be one of the closest people that would never stop talking to me if me and my ex split, and she just marched past me in some sort of, ooh, I'm so important kind of crap. And you know what? I just thought, I don't care. I don't care if you just walked past me and didn't speak to me. I don't care because, you know, for the first time I feel lucky that, when people aren't in my life, I don't think about them, or when they're not in my company, I don't think about them, because, had they been, them ignoring me would have actually hurt me. But as it happens, them walking off just made me go, well, you just confirmed that there was no real friendship, and you'd rather believe someone else over me. And, it's also that bit of, even if you saw me and you went back and you bitched to whatever the rest of your friends group about me being here or whatever, I didn't walk away and talk about you. It was that insignificant, You walked past and I went, I don't care, because you haven't entered my thoughts once. And it's that you can go and bitch about me or comment about me, and you know what? Fine, do that. But you don't know how I am now, what I've gone through in the past 6 months. So, if you couldn't even be bothered, for the sake of just being civil, to ask how I was, then I don't give a shit. You're not important anymore. So that, again, closed this big section that's not been on my mind, but this bit that I've never understood and kind of, did get to me. And it's sort of, yeah, it's done. Done. And yeah, so that was that. And then, it was this cool part of the night, though, I must admit, when all this was happening. And I was really surprised at how calm and laid back I was. And I think a lot of people were expecting me to be fucking, bro, fuck you, you cunt. But I didn't. I was just like, yeah, whatever, fun. And there was this bit where I was stood against the wall, and I had my shadow guy stood right next to me, and there wandered past the X, and it just leant into me. My shadow man just leant into me and said, "Told you so." And I was like, "Yeah, you did tell me so." And I was stupid enough to think that I was right in that matter. And, by him saying that, I told you so, it felt like I told you so. Now let's get back to doing what you do and writing and, doing this creative stuff and, getting the darkness's message out there, because I lost all the energy to do it because I've just been so preoccupied by shit. And, now it's, yeah, okay, cool. But obviously now, because my shadow is now sort of communicating verbally with me again, my therapist is all concerned, because obviously there was that gap where it didn't speak to me, and now it is, and they're all concerned, saying, "Oh, go back on medication. We want to put you on medication. There's always medication." And I just said, it feels like you're forcing me, trying to force me into this medication that I don't want at the moment. I just want to be left alone and just sort things out on my own for once, and challenge myself. And yeah, and that's kind of it, really. Yeah, I've just yeah, just that, really. So yeah, I'll probably do another update soon. This time I kind of wanted to talk about something that came up in therapy, not this week, but last week. And I was trying to explain to my therapist what kind of, how my sort of day-to-day sort of life is, because, especially when talking to people and communicating, it was that thing I was saying, that when I talk to quite a few people, or if, I have a conversation with someone, a lot of people, like some of my friends, were quite shocked when I told them what it's like just communicating with someone. And, it's the thing that now it's so easy for me because I've done it for so long, but, I kind of thought this kind of happened to everyone. So, what, yeah. But when when I start talking, or in my head, I have, all this noise from like the darkness just pouring in, all these words that I'm meant to write down. And then associated with that, I have the shadow man. And, the way he kind of not commands me, but like talks to me every now and again. He's not like a constant. He's there, but he's not always like speaking at me unless, you know, it's something really important. And then sort of, you know, around sort of this place, it kind of feels like it's around here. I can hear it, you know, it's like these other voices telling me that everyone knows that I'm in this wrong body, and you know, that they know that I'm like this parasite, and you know, it's just constant sort of degrading stuff, and you know, and then obviously on top of that I have my own thoughts. So you know, when I'm having a conversation with someone, I have to focus so hard, because there is all this noise going on. So I could be talking to someone and have a voice here saying, "Why the fuck are you talking to them for?" And then, you know, whilst I'm, you know, if I'm in a conversation where I'm getting angry, there's like another voice just going, "Just fucking punch her," you know, him, whatever, not her, but you know what I mean. Just fucking rip like his throat out or something, and it's all going on as I'm trying to calmly communicate. And that's what I was, you know, trying to explain, because sometimes when I lose my train of thought, my mind just goes blank, but other times it's because there's so much crap going on in like my head that yeah, but yeah, and you know, and I was saying that like how I feel like I'm acting all the time, and that's genuinely because, you know, I have to, because when I'm really hyper and being who I want to be and running around, I'm more likely to react to all this noise. And you know, because I know it's wrong now, well, not wrong, it's not meant to be there apparently, I have to kind of like remind myself that, and stay calm and focus and not do what, you know, I want to do. And yeah, it's just so much noise, and I feel really bad, because not really bad actually, I don't feel bad, because, you know, why should I? But you know, I've not even told like my boyfriends this amount of stuff, so you know, they just think like, oh, Dom's just being a bit of a prick, you know, that's his borderline speaking, he's a bit of a dickhead. But they never really understood like how fucking hard it is, you know, to try and maintain and be all friendly with them when you've got so much shit going in your head, and you know, voices telling you that they're dickheads, you know, that my boyfriend's a fucking cunt. And you know, yeah, but you know, maybe in the future I might be this honest with my boyfriends, but you know, it's kind of like no, because yeah, you're probably just going to screw me over anyway. So yeah, so that is a quick kind of mumbled and jargoned explanation of what it's like in my head.